We are live.
Okay, Dhruvika, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Dhruvika Parekh, a fifth year PharmD student, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be hosting this fireside chat today. We are in for a very inspiring conversation, and it's my privilege to introduce two incredible individuals who have made a real difference in the healthcare. First of all, Dr. Karthik Sir. Dr. Karthik Sir is a visionary leader in clinical pharmacy. He is the CEO and co-founder of Avenida Innovations and director of Kairos Research Development Solution and a medical advisor to Arintra. But beyond all these impressive titles, what really stand out is his dedication to empowering PharmD students like us. Whether it's whether it's mentoring, conducting workshops, or establishing clinical pharmacy departments at top institutions, his work has paved the way for so many of us to follow in his footsteps. Honestly, we wouldn't ask for a better guide to lead this conversation today. So let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Karthik Sir.
Yeah, I think Dr. Sai is also here. So let's extend a welcome to Dr. Sai.
Yes, sir. So we welcome Dr. Sai Raj Kapri Sir. While Dr. Karthik Sir's journey has inspired us in countless ways, Sai Raj Sir's story is equally extraordinary and unique. He is clinical gerontologist who has dedicated his life to making a world better for older adults. Starting his journey in Hyderabad, Sairat Sir has done it all, from managing a clinic, mentoring healthcare professionals, to pursuing masters in gerontology at University of Southern California and being licensed nursing home administrator in Louisiana, where he gained invaluable experience in senior care. Dr. Capri's journey has been deeply rooted in improving the lives of older adults. He is currently the executive at Liberty Senior Living, where he works to improve the lives of seniors, and he also teaches aging studies and nutrition as a professor at Bethune-Cookman University in Florida. Sharing his knowledge and passion for gerontology with future healthcare professionals. What makes him truly inspiring is his life's philosophy, shifting the focus from competition to contribution. It's a profound reminder for all of us to prioritize making a meaningful difference in the world. I know for sure that his journey and insights are going to leave us all inspired. So let's welcome Dr. Sai Raj Kapri Sir to this special session. Before we get sorry, sir.
Yeah, Sai, welcome. And for all the participants, I'm sharing my screen and showing something I cannot see the screen. So show your love and welcome Sai by choosing an emoji, which we usually do at Avenida at the bottom of your screen. And let me know who is in the meeting, like what emojis do we see. Okay, so see, Sai, a lot of loves for you from India.
Well, I'm extremely grateful. Thank you all. Again, lots of appreciation, and thanks to Dr. Karthik for this beautiful fire chat. Thank you, Dhruvika, for the introduction. I appreciate you for taking hosting this beautiful event. I'm grateful to all of you for being here, especially Avenida and Dr. Karthik, and happy to be supportive and here for it.
So Sai, so Dhruvika has already been inspired with you. So she does not speak much, but she volunteered and said, I will do it for the first time. And I feel she has done a good job. So she have broken a limitation. So good. So what we will do is, I was asking participants, like, in your understanding, what does this fireside chat mean? Okay, enough of emojis. Okay, we got it. so, so we'll try to keep it little informal, and that is why I'm wearing this kind of a dress. So this is a fire chat. It's not a seminar or a webinar or some professional talk. So it is like few friends coming together, sitting around a fire and having an informal conversation. But from you guys, participants, very quickly, like respond in chat box. Like, what do you understand by calling this as a fireside chat? So a few responses we'll appreciate. And then, so as you type it, so let me know if you can see the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for the participants who were like not able to read it, so it is a quick summary of like Dr. Sai's story. I'll keep scrolling. At that point, he was looking much younger. so, so already addressing a lot of doctors and healthcare professionals while he was still an intern and pursuing the program. Again, this part of journey is what inspired me the most. So, serving the people with devotion in heart. It is not merely a job or a profession, but it is a kind of a service. And doing this in 2012, around that time when nobody were really aware about the importance of pharmacist and all, it makes it a lot more special. And at that point of time, I was not even a graduate. I think I was in my fourth or fifth year pharmacy. Then taking care of elderly, it is like a second childhood. And just see all the smiles. The biggest smile is on Sai Raj's face. So it shows he's enjoying the work he's doing and not just doing it like a job. So this image was trending a lot on like social media those days. So we will ask him a few questions about what inspired him to start this clinic for the first time, I guess, in India. And then again, taking time off, going to Nepal and serving those kids in the massive earthquake in 2015 was again like awesome. So he could have become a hero in Hollywood, but he's doing something else. So he has that looks and personality. And then all of it speaks volumes about his work in elderly care. So go back and read the story again and again. It has so many nuggets of wisdom, lot of inspiration to take home. So for the participants, as you know, we created a group for you on WhatsApp and we updated the group description with this story link and also profile of Dr. Sai and mine. So this is kind of a quick summary of what he has achieved in last a decade and a half. I think so many of it are for the first time what he has done. But what impressed me the most was his mantra, which like I will highlight at the end and show you. So this makes me think, how can a single person do all of this, and that too in this engage and in this short span of time. So Sai, honestly, we are proud to have somebody like you from India doing this great work. And I know your heart lies in India. And I'm sure we are going to start something here and make like all the pharmacists proud of what we have done. So all smiles, great photo. And that truly reflects that we were truly enjoying talking to each other and meeting. That reflects in the smiles we gave here. It is not like some other meeting we join not out of interest but out of compulsion. So the great message which everybody should follow. But this is the like ultimate thing. At such an engage, how can somebody think of this kind of a mantra? From contributions, from competition to contribution becomes a celebration, and he wants to celebrate life by enriching lives of the people he serves, and he has served like hundreds and thousands of them. So I'll stop sharing this story. You can go back and read it again and again. So with this, like Sai, welcome. We'll keep it little informal. We have some questions for you. Druvika will ask it. So try to keep the answers short, specific, so that we can cover as many questions as possible and take directly from the participants also. So Druvika, go ahead, shoot the first question.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have all read about your professional journey in HOP, and we would love to hear more about your story, story behind it. How was your first year of the college, and looking back now, how would you say your experience from the first day to where you are now has shaped you?
Sai, you are on mute.
Thank you, Druvika, for the question again. Emphasizing on just reflecting on my journey, those pages of life, I'm like, wow, this is something I didn't think I was doing something. But just to reflect on the first day, it was again went to Bharat Institute. It was a lot of moving parts into it, holding on to the bag, and the Ibrahimpatnam buses are very, very compact. So you literally have to hold the last hold of the bus seat or something to go into it. So after all the hustle, we were able to do it. The moment I sat down, I think I have achieved something to get into, and let me just finish it very well. And I did reflecting. I always knew something should be done for the people around me, and it was still in my heart and soul. Like, yeah, this is exactly what I would really want to do, and be the best in whatever you can achieve, and have a high potential in yourself, and believe in yourself even no one else does, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to be? So that was the first interaction, and there were some beautiful people around me, and so I'm grateful for the acquaintances who become my friends and who carried through my journey towards it. It's a nice one. And to make it informal, let me just take this jacket off. I have something to show you guys.
Yes, please do that.
Okay, I'm back. This is Hyderabad to Hollywood. Yes.
Okay. So you got it printed for this meeting or what?
No. It was there with me for a long time. So it's just
okay. So are you trying for some chance in Hollywood?
No. If it comes, it comes. If it is not, it is. But most importantly, my inspiration is to do something for the people who are genuinely in need of care. And I think there are different medias to do it. And education is one. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. So if you have seen, he has used the word grateful many times, and that is what makes him shine. Be thankful and grateful for everything we have in our life, and not just ignore and not be aware of those blessings. So Dhruva, go ahead. Any other to them? Moving to next question.
Yeah, sir. Continuing with this question only, sir, has your upbringing influenced the way you approach the healthcare and pharmacy? I just want to know that what motivates you to make such meaningful contribution to this field.
Absolutely. It is actually a very personal question as well, Druvika. The first thing is I've been raised by very strong parents, beautiful individuals who pretty much did what they need to do with the time they have, with the resources they have. And that is something which we always emphasize on, like the strong family core. And it was there. And my parents were always in support of it. I would say my father was a banker and he was always on the travel. And my mother was a homemaker who kind of didn't happen to finish her school, but she learned her life lessons in itself. So she made sure her children are in a position to receive the comfort of whatever they could do in their life. And there were no limitations, I would say. There were no holding backs. Like my mother didn't know what we were studying and what we were doing. But she knew that if we provide the right resources and right support, people will shine. And there was no competition at home. We were always enjoying. And I'm one of four people with my siblings, so they were always in good standing, and we didn't ask for much, and we were happy with the limited resources we had. And my parents were there together to support us, and that upbringing actually did maintain a sense of feeling where I do not have to do something to impress anybody. I'm here to express myself, and if I do it right, I don't have to worry too much about it. And the right people will usually come into your life if you are doing the right things, and that happened with me multiple times. And again, I would say it was my contributing factor from my parents, which the upbringing did make an impact on my life. I would say that because the free thinking was there, critical thinking and options. So it was always up on there.
Yeah, so we are just 10-15 minutes into this meeting, and I already am happy that we are talking about this. So most of the time, this aspect is not touched. People only see the position they are today, but they don't always talk about how their family and other backgrounds supported them to reach where they are. So Sai, convey our best regards to your parents. I would love to meet them in India. Like I'm
Absolutely.
waiting for your message when you say I booked my flight and I'll be landing in India soon. So Sai might come to India this year definitely. We will let you know, and maybe we can sit to near a like real fireside and
one part coming up.
Yeah. So Dhruvika.
Sir, many students today also still are unsure about their future journey and like which direction to take. So when you were in that shoes, did you feel similar thing? And like, how did you navigate those feelings?
That's a beautiful question, Dhruvika. I do feel there was a lot of moving parts involved because the place I was working, I would say internship was at Kim's Hospital, Secunderabad. And I would say I just wanted to be the best I could because I was just interested in people and in the first ways. And that resonated with me with so much core. I was like, this whole human body experience is amazing. And your role as an individual is enhancing their lives. And they're giving you an opportunity to do it really well. And that focused really, like, that was always there. And just to see on it, maybe at the fourth year, fifth year, even in the fifth year, there was a campus level interviews happening. And My Health Pharmacy, which is still available, I think, in Kukatpalli, they were opening all these beautiful chain of pharmacies, and they interviewed, and I got placed. Even at Kim's Hospital, I was placed already. Like, let's work with the department here, and like if you're genuinely interested, and if you're genuinely your core is there, people will recognize that, and you show that interest, and you take those extra hours, like. Not just, oh, I'm doing rotatory rounds for a day. Okay, I'm just taking this, but make your heart and everything part of it, and it will surely be fruition. And that happened with me, and I'm grateful. I ran into some amazing doctors who were there, just holding my hand, supporting me the process. Dr. Bhaskar Reddy, who was the chief of cardiology at Kim's Hospital, I was his intern. So it was completely beautiful feeling. And when you're interested, the right people, as I said, they will come up and pick you up. And that is what happened with me. And I feel I will tell you the same thing for all the families. Put your heart into it. Make it one thing. And Vivekananda actually says these things. Take one idea and make it your life. Just do everything for it. And it will come up. Again, there are multiple things and multiple ways to to enrich life, and enriching life is by enriching others. When you see that as a bigger purpose, it's beautiful. And it's like climbing a mountain. You only go on one path, but the moment you reach on the top of the mountain, then you see like, oh, there are so many different ways to climb the mountain. It is not the only way. So that is something which put me up in the first place. I was like, yeah, this is, and I encourage all the families to understand this is an amazing field of expertise to utilize your core skills, emphasize on your belonging. And sometimes you do have to, I wouldn't say fight for your position, but show your value. And that value proposition will create an opportunity for opening multiple doors for you. And if you do not see any door, you open a door, you make your own door, build your own door, make it a way you can focus on one thing, and that thing will change the whole dynamics of it.
Okay, sir. Sir, gerontology is not a field that initially many students consider. So, like, how did you take this field? Like, how did you consider this field as a future career?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. So when I was working with Ramakrishna Mutt, when I was working with My Health Pharmacy, we did have medical camps. I was doing every single day, every single week. We always used to do medical camps in the community pharmacy settings, and about 70, 80 people used to come. But one time it was actually in Kondapur. There is a Ramachandra old age home, which is still there. And when I was speaking with them about nutrition, diet, modifications, drug regimens, one older lady, maybe in late 60s or early 70s, she was literally looking at me, and she came to me and she hugged me and kissed me. And it was my first time I met her. And that genuine hug and kiss from her changed my whole dynamics. And I thought, like, these are the people I want to work with. These are the individuals I want to focus my life into. And that's where I started learning what is geriatrics, what is gerontology, and what are the options. So USC, University of Southern California in Los Angeles, is actually the best university in the world in geriatrics and gerontology. So I created an opportunity, like, okay, there is a pathway. So I applied for it. And that led me to multiple things. There were a lot of moving parts. A guy from India going in, like saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I emphasize on. And then they said, okay, you're admitted. And then if you're admitted, I said, it's very expensive. It's like expensive school. Like people hardly get into it. And I was like, I cannot afford the tuition. And then the earthquake happened when I went to, it's soulness of my heart, just went and worked with them and survived an earthquake in May 11th, 2015, and showed those things to the people, like, this is what I want to do. And then the group of, I would say 6 professors interviewed me for the position. And I said, this is what I want to do. And I had core competencies, like, I want to celebrate the people of life, so the people who I serve. And let that be my way. If I still try dying doing it, let me do it. So that created that opportunity, got a full scholarship, $140,000. And it ended up being at the USC, and with a room and board and everything involved. So grateful to the God, grateful to the universe. And that worked because my heart is in the right place, and to make that gerontology as my part. And that is what I really wanted to do.
Okay. Sir, many from the audiences had one question that like how gerontology is like different from general clinical practices. Like what makes it different?
Oh, absolutely. As a clinician, which you are and which I am here, is basically the whole concept behind it is just not medicine, I would say. It is more like a holistic approach, like the biological, psychological, sociological approach, which are important for the overall well-being. So you can go to a doctor, you can get a medication, but your surroundings are not good. Your psychological situations are not good. Your sociological situations are not good. What is the better use of it? So as a gerontologist, as a clinical gerontologist, he sees those medical aspects really well, but he also understands that what he or she understands what is beneficial for the overall well-being of this individual. So this individual may have the best healthcare system. The US does have a good healthcare system, but if he goes to the house where there is stairs which can be fragile for a broken bone, and they cannot climb upstairs, they do not have enough resources, there is no social connection, and if you are not socially isolated, then there is a high chance of getting dementia. So there is a lot of moving parts involved into it, and knowing that aspect and creating an opportunity for them to live a positive life can make a big difference. And that's where it is as a gerontologist comes into place, and it is in a clinical setting, but it can be also in a higher community setting, and that is what we do as a gerontologist. And I think most of you can also be part of it as well.
Okay. Sir, like what's a big dream or a goal you are chasing right now? I'm just curious to know that.
Well, that's a beautiful question. It is how to eat a big elephant. It's like the answer is one bite at a time. So when you emphasize on seeing a bigger task and maybe making them the shorter things, it will create a bigger picture. But the bigger picture, again, is to come back to our country, Bharat, and do something very special, at least continue doing for the people of Bharat, especially the Vayovrid individuals who are in need of support, in need of coordination, in need of some healthcare initiatives which can benefit their overall well-being. So Bharat is in part of my heart, and that's where we both connected on the first go with Dr. Karthik. It's very essential for the people who we serve, and a country is as great as the way they take care of their children and their old. So we can work on helping those individuals to age gracefully. It is beneficial, and also I do feel birth is not in my control, but the death is still in my control. But the transition towards death can be beautiful. It can be graceful. It can be more meaningful, and that did make a big difference. And I do happen to work in Ramakrishna Mutt for about 2 years, and there is a lot of poor older adults coming in, and they're holding my hand saying, "Doctor, I do not want to be a burden to my children. I do not want to be left alone. I've been treated not pleasant. I've been abused. I want to die peacefully." That was this older adult's intention, who's in 70s and 80s, and that reflected on my heart. And I was like, yeah, these are the individuals. They should be provided those opportunities for them to leave this life to next transition, if whatever you believe in, to a better world which they want. And at the end, we should not die of regrets. We should be rather in a position to do, like, I have did everything in my control to do what is right for me at the time we have, but in a most beautiful way. And it has to be with sense of dignity, and that is important for my being. And I want to do it for the country which I was born, and Bharat is our country, and we would definitely emphasize on that. And that, to be answered, that is my goal, just to make sure that we provide dignity for the older adults in India.
Okay, sir, there are many students who will be like seeing you, who will be inspired by you, and they'll be taking gerontology as a future career. So, what guidelines would you give to them? Like, what tips and you can give them?
Oh, absolutely. Again, I will definitely be very, very grateful if your genuine heart is in working with these older adults, because it definitely helps. And there are a couple of amazing scholarships available as well. And I will be happy to write a good recommendation letters if you do want to go to USC or to Cal State, Long Beach, and there is university. Even Betham Cookman has aging studies. So there is a lot of moving parts. There is certificate course in gerontology. There is a Masters of Science in gerontology, like a lot of medical gerontology. There is a lot of good things happening. So if you do want to pursue that, I think that is a better option. If only if you heartfully feel, oh, this is exactly what I want to do. Again, it's important to feel that emotion, and if you have it, you have it, and you will definitely be successful in what you do, because it's important not to, because we all here for a limited period of time. We should be mindful about the time which we have, and the time we can do in what we have is what matters the most at the end.
Okay. Sir, one last question. Like, if you had to describe your journey in a like movie or a book title, so what would it be?
Oh, this would be it.
Yeah.
Well, it movie. I would say it's the 0.2% personality. I'm actually writing my own book. It's still in the last stages of drafting and things. It's the story of a clinical gerontologist who's living a life, who emphasizes on importance of being true to himself and what made me achieve those things. So it's going to be part of my book journey, and it will be coming soon. And Dr. Karthik will be having a draft of it before you all see it. So we are working on that, and it's focused. It's a 0.2% mentality. Again, it's how a guy from India made $140,000 scholarship at the most expensive university in the world, and how it all enriched, and what are those steps involved, and how we created that. So yeah, it is on its way. 0.2% or Hyderabad to Hollywood. So let's see. The core is still there.
Why I will launch your book, okay, and sell it if you want for
Definitely. You're an integral part of my life now, Karthik. So you definitely will be part of it.
So see all smiles. I'm happy to see all the smiling faces.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that is exactly why we are doing this. Not an informal webinar where we preach things, but just like heart-to-heart conversation. And last question, I loved it. So Dhruvika, that was not part of the script. So yeah, good.
Was there a script? That's nice.
No, so we thought we might have to ask some questions.
Oh.
So Sai, some lighter or fun moments at college you had either in India or in US, or a very sincere first bench student?
No, I would say I was more like a middle bench student who actually did have a beautiful time around. And Bharat College did have Pharmacon and all the things, and I used to play really well with sports, and was a college champion with javelin throws and shot puts and cricket, and even we did won some beautiful awards for the posters and presentations. It's like a good balance of life in itself. I have a different life after that. I did do some random stuff like walking international fashion weeks and Los Angeles Fashion Week, Atlanta Fashion Week. There is a lot of other things. Yeah.
I would have story la.
But no, it's very professional. Let it be professional. So that it's always there. And I did what I wanted to do with the time I have. Okay, that's been said. When the upbringing was there, and there is no sense of restrictions, then the human mind can do a lot of beautiful things, and it happened with me.
Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I asked is I also had a lot of fun at college. Okay, I used to go just for that fun part, not for learning things. So learning always happened in library or at home where I picked a book and read it myself. College was more for attendance and fun, especially all the labs. So
I love that. I did too, and especially the big ones were the pharmacotherapy labs. It was so beautiful. It was so interesting. I would say, even just knowing the mechanism of paracetamol inside your body, it's so beautiful. It just so much involved. What a connection. You have 37 trillion cells inside your body. It's like when you reflect yourself into yourself, it's just beautiful. Like just closing your eyes, feeling all your cells working for you at the same time, and what beautiful feeling that can be. And that is how I feel. And the most expensive thing is whenever you're feeling very down or things, just put your two fingers on your wrist. You will know this is the most expensive thing. I would say I have billions of friends who are billionaires, millionaires, who are just holding my hand. One was 104, 109, and that is what they wanted to do. Like even with everything we have, this life is very precious and utilize it well when we have it. And I've seen it. I've seen a lot of death in my career because being a gerontologist, but it was graceful. I was holding hands with the people, and that is what they wanted to do. And nobody should die alone. Everybody should die with grace and with dignity. And that is how I felt. And everything was beautiful. And it's like a beautiful mind. Everything is connected. The body is connected. The universe is connected. It creates a beautiful sense of upbringing and purpose. And I wanted everybody to feel that, because you are going to your schools every day. You are doing your rounds every day. Hold that hand of this older adult or a patient and feel it. It's just so beautiful. And look at that medications going in through their minds, and what is happening in their body, the therapeutic drug monitoring, or the pharmacokinetics of that particular drug happening. And if the potassium levels are high, what kind of a situation he's going through with the bicarbonate hitting his kidneys. So there is a beautiful connection. And when you connect all those dots, it creates a magic. And I wish the magic for everybody who's part of this call here, and the next coming generations through you.
So I'm jealous of your students. If this is how we are going to teach them, they will turn out to be very good students. But most of the time here, not many people speak out of their heart or that kind of a passion. It is like so we'll open the session for questions from participants. So if anybody wants to ask it, so the conditions are you should turn your video on. Okay, introduce yourself and then ask a question. So we don't want to talk with invisible people. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Gurlin.
Sir, so I wanted to know why you chose the residency after PharmD. What was something you learned from residency part? Because I don't have much examples here, or in India at least, who are choosing residency. They are very limited people who are doing residency. So what's the one thing you believe that this thing can improve you in what way? So I wanted to know that.
Beautiful question. Actually, that's a very nice question, Golin. And the reason behind it is there is a compulsory rotatory internship, and that is very important to get my degree, and that is something which we need to do. But however, when we were given these topics, even with pediatrics, which I was part of, I saw those people who are with the tendency, especially with hypothyroidism and thyroid mothers, and having levothyroxine and creating calcium deposits in high levels in the babies, that connected me. And because it is compulsory, I wanted to make that experience beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, whatever we've been given, like make the best use of the time I have. And I felt like, yeah, this is what I really wanted to do. And the core was to be utilizing like that time of the compulsory, because it is important, and in order to get your graduation, you have to do it. And why not to be very fun? And I've been given gynecology, pediatrics, cardiology, and nephrology, and even geriatrics on the side. But everybody was like, general medicine, chalega. So that was their mentality. It was like, but to me, it was important, and I did take it as a good feel towards it, and it helped me. And it was important, and it was compulsory. That was the reason I did it. If it was not important, maybe I will have stunned at it. Still did it because this is what I wanted to do. I
Thank
hope
you,
I
sir.
answered your question.
So
Sure, sure.
Sai, so Gurleen missed the first part. She was assuming everybody knows her. So she's from Kashmir and connected couple of years back and very active part of like our team. And again,
Oh wow.
so she made a promise, sir, you get 100 people, 200 people, I will host in Kashmir. So
Yeah, sir.
when you are
Sure.
coming to India, keep all your
I
friends
would
ready.
like to host you.
Oh, I'm grateful. Again, Karthik is phenomenal, so I'm definitely will keep it up.
So Gurleen, one more person added to our tourist list. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Make all arrangements.
Yes, sir.
So who wants
Properly.
to go next?
Host you guys.
Since I just, as you said, we connect with people who we never knew. So Gurleen was saying she's watched some YouTube video, okay, where I was talking about FarmD. That inspired her to join FarmD, and she's here talking with Pino directly in this meet. So otherwise,
Dude,
where is Karimnagar and where is Kashmir? Okay, so and I was little nervous. Okay, you took this decision seeing my YouTube video. I should be responsible for your career. You should not curse me later saying I joined because of him.
that
Yeah.
is true.
So who
I
wants
like
to
the word Karimnagar to Kashmir or Hollywood to Hyderabad. Whatever. It's working HGIKs maybe.
అసలు ఇప్పుడే మనసు ఒకటి వచ్చింది తెలుగు మాట్లాడే వాళ్ళకి మొహం మీద పెండ కొట్టినా పిడికలు చేసుకోండి పెండ కొట్టిన ఏడవకండి అదే చాలా పాలిస్ట్ వేలో చెప్పిండు సాయి సో,
Oh, nice.
పెండ ఎట్లా కొట్టేటోళ్ళు ఉంటారు అది తీసుకొని పిడికలు చేసుకొని వంట చేసుకోండి అదే సో
Just to
నెక్స్ట్ యా
just to resonate on his wording, when somebody throws lemon at you, be mindful that you can make lemonade out of it, and you can make lemon water, and that is what he's suggesting. And just be grateful that somebody is actually throwing lemons, because you have resourcefulness which you can utilize it for the better for yourself, and that is the concept behind it. In the words which he speaks, Telugu, which is my mother tongue as well.
Yeah. So there are a few people with Telugu background, so I use that. For rest of them, don't worry. Okay. So I'll translate it to English and put it in the group. Okay. So who wants to go next?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, myself Varun Pachori, and I'm from Agra, Uttar Pradesh.
Mhm.
Currently in my fifth year of PharmD. Sir, as you pursue in the field of the gerontology, so I've not told anyone about my future goals. Actually, I'm looking forward for the clinical psychology from initial phase itself. So, sir, as India is lacking of the counseling practices, so I want to know about what are the tips from your side to stay focused from my fifth year itself for looking forward my future in the clinical psychology, sir.
Absolutely. That is a great initiative, Arun. And I do want to say thank you for your question, because clinical psychology is going to be a bigger impact, because the amount of impact on mental health is very high, especially with Bharat, with the amount of influx of young individuals which we have, which is also our strength as well. There is a high need of psychologists who will create a much of an approach towards their mental health and psychological health, which is very important. Aapke paas, you can have all the money in the world, but your psychiatry, your body psychology is not set. You will go on drugs or you got wasted, and it happens. I have seen a lot of people in that essence as well, and that's where you need that channeling, and psychologists do play a big role in creating opportunities for them to reflect and come back to the life which they want. I would suggest a focus. There is usually, I hope you do also have a rotatory internship. Any close by psychiatrist, whoever you have in your vicinity, in the place you are, I would suggest just go every 2 hours in the evenings, or at least 2 times in a week. Say that, sir, मैं ये पढ़ रहा हूँ, and this is what I want to do, and I just want to observe you, and that is what I want to do. So guess what? When you're sitting with him, you see the medications he's prescribing. You go to the people who the depressed. You make a small counseling, do a little more tuning around, and this will definitely feel you more confident in what you want to do with your life, which is beautiful. I love that concept where you want to be a clinical psychologist with your family degree. Absolutely, this is a great approach. And having a certificate in psychology, or maybe psychiatry with the doctor which you're studying with, which will create a beautiful sense. And again, make psychiatry as your main rotation for 6 months, and the next 6 months, every 2 days, just go any. I think there are pretty much, there will be just Google search will say who's a psychiatrist here. Meet each one in person. Says this is what I want to do, and I would work with you for free for at least 2 weeks. If you like me, you can keep me. If not, you can give me at 5,000 rupees per month just for internship for my bike petrol. And he will do it, or she will do it. I tell you this because they will see the value in you because you are interested and you wanted to learn, and that will make the whole difference. I hope I answered your question. And I'll be happy to see your journey as well.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
so
much.
Arun, I think, see, I was just like came to Hyderabad today from Rajahmundry, and the college where I was speaking, they got a motivational speaker who is a clinical psychologist to address the students in first year for 3 days.
Mhm.
So I got a chance to meet that guy, and maybe I am that bridge between him and you. Okay, so I'll make that connection. And
Thank you.
again, like students were so happy talking to him because they don't just see, as I was telling, the medications, but they approach it in a holistic way. And sometimes what a doctor who is trained in psychiatry cannot do, a clinically trained psychologist can achieve the same result minus the medication. Most of the time, it is just in their mind. Okay, so see, so God sent me to Rajahmundry to connect that guy to you. so, so who wants to go? So Sai, how much time do you have? Sheikh
I have
Mohammed.
another. I have another 15-20 minutes. I'm okay with it.
So you just tell us uh, when your time runs out. So today is the first time I'm seeing him in a Fireside Chat attire. Otherwise, always sitting in his office wearing that blazer. He keep on getting calls from. I always heard ladies' voice only. No gent called him when I was having meetings with him. so,
They're all my staff. I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
so Sheikh Mohammed Yassin. Are you looking to ask something?
Sir, actually, his mic is off.
Can you unmute your mic and say?
Sorry. So myself
ఓ నువ్వేనా
Tahsin.
షేక్ హసీన్ అంటే ఇంకెవరో అనుకున్నాను.
సార్ నా ఫోన్ పని చేయట్లేదని చెప్పి ఇంకా అన్నయ్య తీసుకున్నాను సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Sir, looking back, what's a memory you will cherish forever, sir?
I would say the happiness of the patients who I've served, especially at Ramakrishna Mat, when I was doing which I was doing. And even that hug from that older adult in the Ramachandra old age home, and also multiple stories now. I was, again, even the old age homes, I was a medical director or medical officer. There are a lot of people who needed that genuine touch, care for them. And then they felt it. And one person was actually dying with grade 4. Actually, he was, last stage of cancer. And he held my hand. He said, I'm happy there is at least somebody who's taking care of me in the last stages of my life. And that really affected me. And I would say this is beautiful what we are doing. And I was like, yeah, this is important work which we are doing, and let that continue doing it irrespective of the limitations we have. And I would say that is beautiful. And one time my grandmother actually came to Ramakrishna Mat visiting, and my superintendent of hospital, Vivekananda Health Center, she came to my grandmother and said, Dr. Sai Raj is a good doctor. And my grandmother, who she passed away in COVID, which I was not part of, and she held my hand. You made me so proud. Out of 27 grandchildren she had, and she was so dear to me, and she felt like I was her diamond child. And thank you for the question. It reflected, I really remembered my grandmother now. So that was something which was beneficial. And I would say those are the memories which you all live for. And sometimes you just reflect onto it as a positive way, and it impacted my life. Yeah, thank you. I did really think about that. I didn't think about my grandmother, that story. Now I do think about, because you asked that question. So thank you for you
It's
for that.
really great, sir.
So Sai, so Taisin speaks lot of things
Telugu.
about me. She's from Guntur. ఓకే. సో,
Mhm.
అగైన్ నువ్వు ఇండియాకైతే రారాదు. మొత్తం తీసుకపోతా నిన్ను. వాళ్ళు బిర్యానీ చేసి రెడీ ఉన్నారు. లాస్ట్ టైమ్ మిస్ అయినా నేను. సో 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 ఐ స్పోక్ టు హర్ మామ్ and she said she speaks a lot about me, and now you are my competition. So she will start
No, no,
speaking about you also. So Tehsin, please do that, and next time we'll make her mom talk to Sai Raj. Okay.
Sure, sir.
They were like, I enjoyed that conversation. One of the good moments. So they trust their daughter. They're looking to provide her everything. If she wants to continue education, continue in India, continue or go abroad. So little additional responsibility on us to guide all these people in this meeting, and they are not lost in their own decisions. Yeah.
happy to
So
support.
yeah. So he got like $140,000 funding. That's a lot of money, and it's not easy. And now these days, few people are asking me, sir, how to get that funding. I'm telling them, join this meeting, ask Sai Raj. Okay. So he will tell you how we got that scholarship, and
Oh,
we'll see. And any specifically they want to talk to you, I'll connect them again.
I would just answer that question. Be genuine with your heart, and do the right things. Again, there are the whole universe. Like, there is a Hindi dialogue in Shah Rukh Khan. When your heart and soul and everything is puri kainat will come and help you, and that is true. It definitely helps you when you're even in the right spot with universe. Will just like there is a vastness of
So,
beautiful.
Sai, can you tell that dialogue Shah Rukh Khan way?
जब आप पूरे सच्चे दिल से काम करना चाहते हो तो पूरी कायनात आपके लिए मदद करने के लिए तैयार है. तो that's
Okay.
that is it.
Okay, I think Hollywood, Bollywood can take you. So
What important is what we do for the country which we are born from, Bharat, and it is important, and I will definitely do it.
Hollywood.
We'll be all part of it.
Yeah.
And I
So,
did some movie in Bollywood also. Yeah, I did
Mhm.
a fashion movie. I was the runway model there.
Okay. Okay. So who else wants to ask a question? Anand, you can ask. No need to raise your hand. Unmute and ask.
So, hello, sir. I am Anantu Ajain, family 6th year intern from Amravati, Maharashtra. So, as you have already shared all about your journey and everything we have cleared regarding your technical aspects, how was your journey and all. I want to ask a bit different question. Let us assume that you never came into this health related field. So, what would be you, or what would you like to be if you never came into this like health related field?
That's a very good question, Anand. But I do feel I did do what I wanted to do. I wanted to be, again, I'm grateful with some good genes with my parents, which gave me. So I wanted to be a supermodel. I wanted to be in runway modeling. And I do have, I've done that as well. So I would say I was the Andhra Pradesh runner-up when there was a pageant in 2012, something like that. So 2013, yeah, there is a lot of moving parts. So I did that too. So yeah, to answer your question, that is what I wanted to do, and I did it, which I wanted to do. And the universe helped me, and walked Los Angeles Fashion Week, which is big, really big. Atlanta Fashion Week, which is also big. Like, there was a lot of designers wanted to be part of it. A lot of Indian Fashion Weeks, Bengaluru Fashion Week, Indore Fashion Week, Hyderabad Fashion Week. There was a lot of things which we did, and yeah, a lot of. So that is what I wanted to do, and I did it. So I'm grateful.
Thank you, sir.
I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, yeah. So this I was not aware. So, okay.
It's info. That was the question from Anand. So, Anand, so I will keep it up to him.
Any more questions? Yeah, Aisha, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Myself, Aisha. I am from family fourth year, and my question is that after moving abroad, that I am planning to, what would you recommend would be better? Like get into something that has data, like clinical data analysis, clinical data management, such jobs, or stick to this clinical pharmacy thing and try to clear NAPLEX, which seems to be a little difficult. I know if we put our heart and soul to it, like we can achieve it. But as a second option, or maybe even as first, because I would, to be really very honest, prefer the comfort of the home. So, what is your take on it? Like, is it a wise idea to get into the data field?
I would say if you, with your approach, Aisha, that's a very good question as well for the next coming generations. It's about health informatics. If you do feel about data informatics and your approach towards clinical aspects, which can create opportunities for handling data management with health informatics focused on clinical side, it will benefit you. And health informatics can be a bigger option for you if you want to be in the comfort of your home, because you are doing the rightful job, but you're also not in the outside settings. You are inside and you're doing the data analytics of it, and that can be beneficial. And that is part of, if that is looks like that is what you want to do, then going to NAPLAX and being a clinical, being a pharmacist in the US and or in the Canada with PGs and stuff like that. So yeah, so health informatics will be a better option if you would like to focus on that comfort home situation.
Yes, I think I will also add. So Aisha, you are in which year? You said I missed it.
Family fourth year.
Fourth, okay. So you still have some time to think and figure out. And as you rightly
Yes.
said, so I have few of my connections
Mm-hmm.
who cleared all these exams in first attempt.
Yeah.
And they were
Mm-hmm.
like average and below average at college. Okay, so it is not that
That
tough
will be
as like people make it out of it. Okay.
Mhm.
And they are like very, I can just pick up my phone and call them right now. So I
Huh.
can offer you that guidance, but as I'm saying, like you have still 2 more years to go. A lot of
Mhm.
things change. Your interest might change. New things might come up. Keeping all those factors in mind, you can decide, and whatever you decide, like just follow. And
Yes, because I mean,
regarding,
I wanted to like. Mhm.
yeah, go ahead. You were asking something.
I wanted to continue in the field of clinic only because while I was studying SAS, I tried to like learn something about clinical data management. And even when I started, just when I got, a little hang of it, I was like, why am I then doing a 6 years degree then if I had to just get into CDM then? There are so many engineers out there who can apply for the data jobs. So, and will it be worth leaving a 6 years degree aside and then just getting into the data course? I will feel guilty, right?
So
That
not
was
always,
something that.
because the data which you are going to deal with is a healthcare data, which a person with science background or healthcare background understands much better than an like engineer does. Okay. And anyways, our
Yeah.
upcoming stories, we are going to talk about few people, whoever sends their story first. So one of them could be like my classmate Dilip, which I'm promising Sai Raj to connect. So this guy works in PV, and a lot of registered pharmacists in US report to him. So just like how Sai Raj made it big in geriatrics, he made big in pharmacovigilance. So listening to these people will give you more clarity, more understanding for you to refine your path. And that is exactly why we are doing this. And I want to make an appeal now. So see, this is a lot of work, and I should be very thankful for all my team. Gurleen, Suyash, Arun, Druvika, Rajeshwari, Anandu, Shamal, Maria Potraj, and so many others who are contributing to making this happen. But we need more hands. As I said, we are approaching close to 150 people So I see
I would
power
be
of
happy
my
to volunteer.
exactly.
I
So
would be happy to volunteer
all of them.
for my college.
And initially, when we started this meeting, I wanted to tell this. It is my kind of way of giving back. I was fortunate to connect with lovely people in my journey, and I wanted to make sure all of you have that access to them. And Sairaj was top in that list. So many to follow, and now you see that, right? So I feel so fortunate that these guys are crossing path with me in my life. Okay, and I experienced a sense of joy and so many things being in touch with them. So I thought I should expose all of them to you in this informal way, not like a webinar, not giving you a certificate or calling it all that nonsense. So we will do more, and like anybody who wants to support us in this endeavor, please reach out to us. Uh, so Rajeshwari, you can put like mine and your number in the chat box. And I think you are part of that group, right? So we'll also announce in the group. So join us and help us uncover more stories.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, so I think we have taken some questions. We can always connect back again with Fire Chat part two. Okay, just like the trend, everybody is doing it in two parts. We can get Sai again. And anybody wants to share the experience of today's meeting? What did you feel? So, not in a traditional way, sir. It was very informative. We got inspired. We got motivated. So that we understood. But the overall experience of things which we touched in this conversation.
So can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in the world, running behind the competitions or running in the competitions, when we face as well as when we come in the contact with a person who moves or the divert their path from the competition, that is a big approach because everyone is running behind the fancy things nowadays rather than focusing on their future. So along with that, overall experience is really very good as well as with our doubts, we also get our clear our paths for the future. So I want to ask one more thing, like what motivates you for moving apart from the competition?
That's a very good question, Arun. You guys are phenomenal. Very nice questions. So I live with this quote with the Stoic way, and I would. It's called memento mori. Memento mori means you can die at any time, and you can pretty much be gone poof and nothing. So when you have that sense like you're not here forever, that is my motivation, and that is where I feel like yeah, this is what I want to do with the limited time we have, because the highest you can go, because being a clinical gerontologist, the highest you can go is 121 people, 121 years. That is it. If 100 years from now, nobody will remember your name or do things with. So you do what you need to do with the time, limited time you have, because momentum mori or a more 40, we just don't know when we're gonna die. So that is the most that motivates me, and that motivates me keep me going. So I would take that. Thank you. Thanks for the question.
So, like Arun, I can share some video where Sadhguru talks about this. So, if you consider it as a race, okay, whoever touches the finishing line is called the winner. So, in life, that finishing line is death. So, if you are in a competition with somebody and you are touching the finishing line first, it means what? You are going against yours. So,
Beautiful.
Sniti, you want to share your experience? So, Sniti is from Chennai. I hope she will speak. And this was just one small connect. I did a session at their college.
Good evening, sir. So I'm
Yeah.
Sniti Shaji from actually from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I've come here for studying just for this family, and I'm intern like sixth year. I'm doing my internship in the Kamakshi Memorial Hospital, Kollikarnag. So, sir, actually, I wanted to ask one question. Like, can you please motivate us on like to being stick to clinical field itself? Because initially we had like we have to not basically just me, but I've seen my colleagues that they are changing their field to research just because of the salary, income, and money, sir. Because in clinical field, initially we don't get that much hype in India. So not everyone are affordable to go abroad. So can you please motivate on staying in this field, sir? So
So
that we
that
know.
is what he has done all this. Sneak. So,
But
anyways, I
actually,
will
Yes,
answer it
sir.
after him. So, Sai, go ahead.
but just to thank you question for the questions, Nidhi, and it definitely does feel like when you put your heart and sinew to the right process, the whole universe will definitely support you. And I would say, yeah, there will be less. I at Ramakrishna Mat, they were, and even at my health pharmacy, they were giving me about 20,000 Indian rupees, and that was my start salary. Yes, 18,000 rupees was my start salary, and then they bumped it to 27,000 after that. But however, I was not thinking about that. I was thinking about the experiences, and that
Yes.
experiences that led me to get a $140,000 scholarship,
But
which is 1.2 crore Indian rupees. If you just count on it, I'm not saying on a monetary way, but that was it. Now I'm running $5 million company just by sitting on it. So it is when you put your heart, soul, and everything into it, you will
I
definitely
have never
benefit it.
seen someone being in this much gain when he's working in India, sir. Only they when they go abroad only then they shine. Why is it like that?
Well,
Because of
maybe that is a
rupee to
very good.
dollar conversion.
Sorry,
Simply
Karthik was saying.
because rupee to dollar conversion, that's all. Okay. So if you translate that,
That's very smart. Yeah,
All
that
the
is.
family have respect in India, sir.
so Sniti, we'll go one by one. So, but for that, we want a deal. So, Sai, add Andaman and Nicobar also to your list. So, Kashmir, Agra with Arun, Kashmir with Kaur, okay, Andaman with Sniti. So, Sniti, when you say clinical, this is my way of looking at things. Clinical does not just mean being on the bedside of a patient and taking care of them. So, you are part of clinical research. You might not be seeing a patient every day, but you are indirectly helping launch a molecule into a drug into the market, which can influence millions of people, which you cannot see even if you work for a lifetime in clinical pharmacy. So first, that misconception that clinical means only a clinical pharmacist is wrong. Any field which either directly or indirectly deals with patient has that clinical component. Yes, or for
Yes,
example,
sir.
like one of my friends is working in pharmacovigilance. He makes sure drugs are safe. Unsafe one, he will make sure it is withdrawn from the market or given a warning or a precaution. He might have not worked as a clinical pharmacist and seen a patient directly, but by making this recommendation, he's saving millions of patients' life, right? It is not just being a clinical pharmacist. So each of this field definitely has a clinical component. Okay. But if you say clinical pharmacy, then it is kind of direct patient care. But you depend on all these guys, right? They should launch the market, the safety is taken care, statistical analysis is done, all of that part. And coming to money, definitely in India, that is a challenge. People are paid very less money. Unfortunately, even in big hospitals, they're getting a salary of 15, 16,000. So keeping salary aside, they are not getting that respect or dignity, which we should work towards it. And somebody are willing to still go into that field and struggle. Okay. But few people are looking to take a like much simpler, easier path. Okay. So there is no rule that just because we studied pharmacy, we should become a clinical pharmacist. We
Yeah.
can chase other fields and still create the same kind of an impact a clinical pharmacist creates. Okay. And actually, me and Sai are thinking that is not an easy thing to solve. Okay. People have tried, failed, but that's our like top dream where pharmacists in India can also make good money,
And even
implement all the things they learned, get the respect which they deserve. So that is not an easy task, but like we want to give it a try.
that's right. Thank you, sir.
And thanks for joining. So after a long time we connected, I'm happy to see. And Kea, you want to talk? Kea Patel. So even Kea is a very recent contact. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correct.
No, sir, my doubts are asked in the previous question.
So share experience. Experience also shared by others.
Um,
So so she asked me
I'm
something, but I got her into this meeting. Okay. So she asked me for some guidance or something. I said, join this conversation. So what did you feel listening to Sai?
So regarding when I
Mm.
read the brochure, for me the term was only new. So I have to first Google it, that which field the sir has already worked on. And I was, to my notice, it was very shocked that there is a different field for a genetic patient for such things. So that was one thing that I noticed. And from this, I got a new guidance that how selecting own interest has also a new path.
Yeah, thank you, Kaya. Again, that experience with that older adult in Ramachandra old age home in Kondapur also changed my life too. Again, everybody will have their tendencies of looking at it, and how you look at it and how you want to make out of it is what matters. Because miracles happen every time, and how you respond to it is what matters. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rajeshwar, I think you can ask Alvin to stop the stream.
Cool.
Okay. ఒక జోక్ చెప్పొచ్చా?
చెప్పు.
Just a second, sir. We'll stop the live.
అందరూ మొత్తం సాయి ఐడియానే ఫాలో కాకండి. అర్థమైందా?